have Miss Fatima here also. Miss Fatima is going to represent the students because during a live session, it's very difficult to allow you guys to unmute, to interact. You can use the chat, you can talk with us using the chat, but we are not allowing you to unmute. We're not allowing you to chat publicly. You can send us private chats. So don't send Miss Fatima private chats. But glad that you guys are here. We have a record low attendance. This is episode number 1, by the way. And Miss Fatima, we've got a record low attendance. Are you already getting messages, Miss Fatima?
No.
You are, right? Not yet.
No.
Okay. You will. Don't worry. But we have a record low attendance because it's raining, it's flooding, people are dying, power cuts. But even then, you guys are here. And that makes me very proud. It makes me want to become the best teacher that you guys deserve. And what is going on, Hanisha? Glad you're here. Are you made of honey, Hanisha? What is going on, Halima? I'm doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Okay, so off the bat, we're going to work on a PDF. And this PDF can be found in our Infinity Maths group. Miss Fatima, Infinity begins from where?
From where?
From here, right? Infinity. That's our tagline, Miss Fatima. Infinity begins from here. So, we have uploaded the PDF of this document that we are going to discuss. It is in the Infinity Mathematics group. If you haven't joined our group, please let us know. Give me 1 second, by the way. If you haven't joined our mathematics group, please let us know, by the way. We can send you the links. We can send you the required links to join our group, join our channel. But give me 1 second. Let me quickly make the PDF of this lesson available in the Infinity Maths group. So again, we're doing trigonometry. The reason why I decided to do trigonometry is because our students requested for it. It is our students, Miss Fatima, who asked me to teach trigonometry. You know that Javed sir has a very warm heart. Despite this cold climate, your Javed sir has a really warm heart. And that's why I decided to teach trigonometry. And remember, trigonometry is like a really easy lesson that is made to look like a difficult lesson. What is that? Can you repeat that again? Not you, Miss Fatima, the others at home. Trigonometry is a really easy lesson that is made to look like a super complicated lesson. So a lot of students are afraid of trigonometry. What? Trigonometry? They're like that. What is this trigonometry? All right. So to be honest, you don't have to be afraid about it. I'll make you understand trigonometry easily. So you need 2 things, okay? Apart from your books and your pens and your internet connection, a beating, hard-working brain, apart from those necessities, you need 2 things. Number 1, you need this PDF. We are going to use this PDF we're going to use this PDF to teach you trigonometry. This PDF, by the way, this PDF right here is full of past paper questions. We have shared this PDF with you in the Infinity Maths group. Miss Fatima, Infinity begins from?
From here.
From here, exactly. Infinity begins from here. And not only is this PDF full of past paper questions, so we actually have past paper questions starting from 2016 going all the way to 2024. So you have all of the past paper questions in this PDF. So why are we starting with past paper questions? You might ask me. Why are we learning trigonometry? You might ask me. The reason is, number one, you will definitely get this in the exam. So can you see? Take a very careful look, all right? Take a very careful look. In every year, all right, 2024, right, Miss Fatima? There is a question from trigonometry. 2023, Miss Fatima? There's a question from trigonometry. 2022, Miss Fatima? There's a question from trigonometry. 2021, Miss Fatima? There's a question from trigonometry. You won't believe this. Wait. 2020? There's a question from trigonometry. Wait. I'll tell you something unbelievable. Let me tell you something unbelievable. Right? 2019. There's a question from trigonometry. Our students are afraid of triangles because of this, right, Halima? Our students are afraid of triangles because of trigonometry, Pythagorean theorem. Our students are afraid of triangles. I want to make them fearless. Your Javed sir wants to make you fearless of triangles. And therefore, that is why we have decided to teach trigonometry. To teach trigonometry, Miss Fatima, we're going to use a PDF full of past paper questions. 2019, Miss Fatima, there was a question from trigonometry. 2018, Miss Fatima, there was a question from. You get the point, right, Miss Fatima? The 2025, will there be a question from trigonometry?
Obviously.
Hell yes, right? Hell yes, Miss Fatima. 2025, there will be a question from trigonometry. So do not underestimate the value of this lesson. I promise, gamak natua. I promise, gamak natua. You guys can learn trigonometry. How many marks are allocated for trigonometry? 20, apologies, 10 out of 200. 10 out of 200. So you get 10 solid marks for trigonometry. So now you guys know what the goals of this lesson is. You know what we're going to do. We're going to complete questions, past paper questions from trigonometry. Right, Miss Fatima? But in order to attempt these questions, you have to learn theory, right? In order to learn these questions, you have to learn theory. So let me give you 5 minutes theory. What is that, Miss Fatima? 5 minutes theory. So I love teaching theory in 5 minutes because this theory will stick. You won't forget this theory, I promise. What lesson is this theory for, Miss Fatima? Obviously, trigonometry. So what do you mean by trigonometry? A lot of people think that trigonometry and geometry are the same thing. No. In our syllabus, there is a separate geometry part. Trigonometry might be connected to geometry, but trigonometry is not geometry. It is a independent kind of a lesson to apply trigonometry. If you want to use trigonometry, you have to have a right angle triangle. That is rule 1, okay? Like there's another theorem where we need right angle triangles, Miss Fatima. What is that theory?
The Pythagorean theorem.
Exactly, well done. One of my students, Pythagoras was. The Pythagorean theorem is also only applicable for right angle triangles. Rule number 1, you can only apply trigonometry to right angle triangles. If it's not a right angle triangle, trigonometry doesn't work. Now, for example, Miss Fatima, when are you going to get married? They'll ask that in the maths paper, by the way. They'll ask that in the maths paper. So write this down. So, Miss Fatima, when you get married, the person must be Muslim, right? The person has to, obviously. Lati utala, barabara poduvanga.
Obviously.
Right? So, for Miss Fatima to get married, her future husband has to be a Muslim. To use trigonometry, you must have a right angle triangle. If not, you can't use trigonometry. That is rule number one. If there is no right angle triangle, trigonometry won't work. When it comes to this right angle triangle, so what are we doing now, Miss Fatima? We're learning 5 minutes theory. We're learning 5 minutes theory when it comes to the rules of a right angle triangle. When it comes to the rules of a right angle triangle, there are ratios. Now, a lot of people might be afraid of the word ratio. What's a ratio? Now, for example, Miss Fatima, you bake, right? You're a baker, right? You bake,
Yes.
I think, brownies, right?
Yes.
Miss Fatima? So you add flour and butter, you add them according to a certain ratio, right? So don't be afraid of the word ratio. Ratios are basically fractions. A fraction is a ratio. What do you mean by a fraction? One number is on top, another number is on the bottom. That's a fraction. Trigonometry is all about ratios. And these ratios are fractions. Don't be afraid of maths. Because, Miss Fatima, maths is an easy subject. The people who made a syllabus for it put difficult words. Maths is a very easy subject, but to make it look difficult, the people who made our syllabus, they put in difficult words. So in trigonometry, you can only apply the trigonometry rules for a right angle triangle, a 90-degree triangle, and also remember ratios. Ratios are fractions. What is a fraction? There is one number on the top, right? And there is another number on the bottom. You might have learned that this number on the top is called the nana, the numerator, right? The nana. And you also might have learned that this number on the bottom is called the donkey. The donkey, right? Nana on the donkey. The denominator. But you don't need to know this, okay? Just remember, a fraction, a ratio is another word for fraction. All right? It's like these girls using different filters on Instagram, right? On Snapchat, they use different filters. But then it's the same girl, right, Miss Fatima? And evage, ratios and fractions are the same thing. So in trigonometry, we work with fractions. Now again, we are using a right angle triangle as the model. There must be a right angle triangle. There are 3 kinds of ratios. In trigonometry, we only have 3 types of ratios. What are ratios? Ratios are fractions, right? Ratios are fractions. One number is on the top, another number is on the bottom. One number is being divided by another number. If you divide one number by another number, it is a fraction. So these ratios have 3 rules. There are how many rules, Miss Fatima? There are 3 rules. Rule 1, sine. All right, sine. Rule 1, sine. Rule 2, cos. Cos or cosine. Sine, cosine or cos. Rule 3 is tan. It's like you're meeting 3 new friends, Miss Fatima, right? How many close friends do you have? How many close friends do you have? Am I one of them?
No.
I'm going to remove you. There are 3. So you have 3 new friends. No, 4 with me. 3 more new friends. Sine, cosine, and tangent. You can call them sine, cos, and tan. All of these 3 rules will apply for the what triangle, Miss Fatima? Right angle triangle. You can apply these 3 rules to any right angle triangle. Sine. Now, this is how I remember these rules, okay? Sine means sex. Now, you guys might be wondering, what the hell does that mean? Sex means gender, right? Genders are opposite. In the books, have you guys seen name, grade, sex, right? So, gender, sign means sex. Sex means gender. Gender is opposite. So just remember, sign is opposite. Okay? Sign is opposite. All right? Sign is opposite. So if you take sine theta, theta is this angle here. Not angel, Miss Fatima, angle, right? In Javed sir's class, we have angles and angels. But here we're talking about the theta angle. This angle can be anything, okay? This angle can be A. This angle can be 60. This angle can be 30. This angle can be M. But we are going to call this angle theta. You can put any letter, any variable that you want instead of this angle. So sine theta is opposite. So I told you sine is sex, sex is gender, gender is opposite. Sine theta is opposite over what is the longest side of a triangle, the right angle triangle. What is the longest side of the right angle triangle called? It's called the absolutely hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. Sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So the opposite angle, the side opposite this angle, right? We'll call this OP, right? Opposite over hypotenuse. This is a fraction. This is a ratio. What is this? This is a fraction or a ratio. Cos. Cos means close by, right? Cos means close. So the close side over the hypotenuse. The close by side over the hypotenuse. Don't worry, this might seem difficult, but I promise this becomes easy, okay? Give this one shot, one try, this becomes easy. Finally, we have tan, and tan is sine over cos. We have tan, and tan is sine over cos. Sine over cos. So I told you, Miss Fatima, sine is opposite, and cos is adjacent or close. Close. Opposite over close. If you understand these 3 rules, you can apply trigonometric ratios. This is the theory. What you see on the board, this is 100% the theory that you need for trigonometry. Can you believe that, Miss Fatima? It's that simple. Number 1, you need a right angle triangle. Without this right angle triangle, can you apply the trigonometric rules? You can't. There are 3 rules. We have sine, we have cos, and we have tan. Sine, cosine, and tangent. How do you learn what sine is? Now remember, sine, cos, and tan are ratios, right? Sine, cos, and tan are ratios. What do you mean by ratios? Ratios are fractions. So how do you remember the ratio of sine? Sine is sex. Sex means gender. Gender is opposite. Opposite over hypotenuse. Cos. Cos means close by. So that means close over hypotenuse. What is the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is the longest side of a triangle. Finally, we have tan. Tan is sine over cos. Sine is sine opposite or close? Fatima. Miss Fatima?
Opposite.
Is absolutely. Sine is opposite. Sine is sex. Sex is gender. Gender is opposite. Tan is sine over cos. So sine is opposite. Cos is adjacent. Adjacent, right? Close by. We don't use the word adjacent. We say close. Close. So if you take this right angle triangle, Miss Fatima, all right, you see that this side, this yellow color side is opposite to the angle theta, and this orange color side is close to the angle theta, right? It's very logical, right, Miss Fatima? Once again, if you take the theta angle, we have the yellow color side that is opposite to the theta angle. And then we have this orange color side that is close to the theta angle. What about this green color side, Miss Fatima? What do we call this green color side?
The hypotenuse one.
Absolutely. It's called the hypotenuse. Genius you are. So this is how we navigate. This is how we navigate around the lesson. We've done the theory in 5 minutes. One more time. Sine is opposite, right? Sine is sex. Sex is gender. Gender is opposite. Opposite over hypotenuse. Then we have cos. Cos means close by over hypotenuse. And finally, tan is sine over cos. That means opposite over close by. If you know these three rules, if you understand these three ratios, you can do any question connected to trigonometry. So what do we find in trigonometry, Miss Fatima? Looking at this theta and this rules, what do we find in trigonometry? Area. Do we find area in trigonometry?
No.
We don't. You're right. We don't find area. In trigonometry, we can only find two things. How many things can we find in trigonometry, Miss Fatima?
Two.
Two things. What kind of a triangle must we use?
A right angle.
A right angle triangle. So in trigonometry, you can only find two things. Now, for example, Miss Fatima, let's say that you have an oven, right? What is the brand of your oven at home?
I didn't even know that.
Exactly. It's an oven, not an even, right? I hope it's an oven. So using the oven, you can only bake, right? You can't. Now, let's say, can you freeze your food using the oven? No, people are going to think that you are mental if you try to freeze your food using the oven. So you can only do one thing using an oven. So like that, using trigonometry, you can only do two things. One, find what, Fatima? Miss Fatima.
The theta's value?
Absolutely. Find the angle. You're right. Find the angle. I was trying to find the angels, but I became a maths teacher because I couldn't find the angels and I found the angles. Number two, you can find the length. You can find the length of a side, right? These are the only two things that you can do using trigonometry. You can find the angle or you can find the length. It's very simple. Using trigonometry, you can either find the angle, you can find the length. Can you find the area, Miss Fatima, using trigonometry?
No.
Impossible. Well done. You can't find the area using trigonometry. Can you find volume using trigonometry? Volume?
No.
Impossible. You can't find volume using trigonometry. You can only find the magnitude of the angle, length of a side. That is trigonometry. We have learnt trigonometry theory in 5 minutes. So, what must the student do now? If you are the student, pray to Allah, pray to your God, okay? And then what you have to do is you have to learn what sine and cos and tan are. These are the three ratios of trigonometry. These are the three ratios of trigonometry. These ratios have a definition. Sine is sex is opposite, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is close by over hypotenuse. Tan is sine over cos. So tan is opposite over close by, adjacent. Another word for close by is adjacent. Your teacher might have taught you the word adjacent, but we say close by. So if you can understand this, we can take you to where? Where can we take you? Past paper questions. If you can understand this theory, we can take you to face past paper questions. So the next thing that I want to show you is something called the natural trigonometric ratios. All right? Here, where can you find this, Miss Fatima? In the front side or the back side?
Behind the textbook.
Exactly, behind. I love it. I love the word you. Behind the textbook. Exactly. You can find this behind the grade 11 textbooks. These are called. So you have to be grade 11 to have this, but even grade 10 students can attempt this, okay? This is like Montessori Vela. Don't worry. This is like Montessori Vela. So using these tables, we can do past paper questions. But now, Miss Fatima, can you tell me, what are these tables made of? There are numbers on this table, right? There are numbers on these tables. How many tables are there? Let's count them. Is this a trigonometry table, Miss Fatima?
No.
No, this is logarithms. A different lesson. Let's learn logarithms in the future. But how many tables are there? One table. 2, 3, 4. 4 tables. Love it, love it, love it. 4 tables are there. Using these 4 tables, you can answer past paper questions. By the way, you can't find these tables online. These are only available in your textbooks. This is only used in the Sri Lankan syllabus. In the London and American syllabi, they use calculators. But in the Sri Lankan syllabus, only do they have these tables. I will teach you how to use these tables. I will teach you how to use these tables. But tell me this, Miss Fatima. What are these tables made of? 4 numbers. Obviously not. What do you think these tables are made of? Where did these numbers come from, Miss Fatima? Can you give me a guess?
The degrees and minutes?
There are degrees, well done, and minutes, you're right. There are degrees and minutes. That is what the columns, right? The first column and the first row is made of, right? The first column is made of degrees, right? Degrees, that is what you measure the angles with. And then the first row is made of minutes. You're right, minutes are pieces of a degree. If you cut a degree into 60 pieces, you get minutes. Don't worry about that. Don't worry. You might not understand. Don't worry. Miss Fatima and I will explain. But tell me what these numbers are, Miss Fatima. Inside the table, there are numbers. What are these numbers, Miss Fatima?
Well, are they?
Are they whole numbers or are they decimals?
Decimal.
Absolutely. They are decimals indeed. Genius you are. They are decimals, Miss Fatima. So I told you, we work with ratios. Ratios are fractions. What happens when you simplify a fraction?
They become decimal.
Exactly, they become decimals, right? If you take a fraction, and if you have a question, you can drop it in the chat, okay? If you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat. Drop the question to me, not Miss Fatima. I'll explain the doubts that you guys have. But coming back to the point, we have decimals, but these are not actually decimals. These are fractions. Because if you take out a calculator, all right, now let's take a decimal, let's take a fraction, okay? Let's take 33, all right, divided by, let's say, 88. You're going to get a decimal, right? So do you understand? You, as a math student, it is your duty. As a math student, it is your duty to understand that ratios and fractions are also decimals. You guys can even write this down. If you have colorful pens, highlighters, you guys can write this down. We are learning trigonometry theory in 5 minutes. We actually learn the theory in 5 minutes. If you are not here in that 5 minutes, don't worry. You will be able to catch up with the past papers. But remember, ratios and fractions and decimals are the same thing. Ratios and fractions and decimals are the same thing. So what do we have in this table? What do we have in this trigonometric table? We have fractions, ratios, or decimals, right? Do you see, Miss Fatima? In this table, we actually have ratios. This table is full of ratios. So using those ratios, we can do our calculations. If you don't have a table, you can always use a scientific calculator. To bypass that scientific calculator, they have given us a table. So I'll teach you how to use this table, how to do calculations. But you have to remember to recap what we talked about. Number one, trigonometry is not entirely geometry. Trigonometry is a special lesson. We don't use the laws of geometry in trigonometry. Now we have laws, right, Miss Fatima? We have tangents, we have sectors, we have chords in geometry, right? We don't use them in trigonometry. Trigonometry is not purely geometry. Trigonometry is a special lesson. Where can you apply trigonometry? You can only apply trigonometry to a what? Triangle, Miss Fatima. You can only?
Right angle triangle.
Absolutely, you can only apply trigonometry to a right angle triangle. There are 3 rules, and these 3 rules are what defines the ratios. What are the 3 rules? Sine, cosine, tan. Sine, cosine, tangent. Sine means sex. Sex is opposite. Opposite, that means gender. Gender means opposite. Opposite over hypotenuse. Cos means close by. Close by over hypotenuse. And then we have tan. Tan is sine over cos. That means opposite over close by. You guys can write this down as well. And remember, ratios and fractions and decimals are the same thing. These are found in a table. Ratios, fractions, and decimals are the same thing. These are found in a table. You can write this down very quickly or you can take a screenshot. Don't be afraid of trigonometry. Don't be afraid of maths. Your Javed sir will make this easy. Now, we're going to go to doing these past paper questions. Miss Fatima, this is going to be a past paper question. What a ton. It's going to be a past paper question. Marathon, absolutely. Hope you guys are done. If you need some more time to write this down, please raise your hands up. If you want to write this down, if you have doubts, you can drop your doubts in the chat. All right? Can give you like a few minutes, okay? Can give you a few minutes. Write this down, Ahmed. We're all here to learn. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Can give you a few minutes, okay? If you have any doubts, please drop them in the chat. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Enough time. Let's jump into the session. So why are we doing past papers? The main reason is because in the exam, you are going to find a very similar question. Your textbook is the biggest lie in your syllabus. Questions in your textbook will not be given exactly as they are in the exam. Can you believe that? When you do questions in your textbook, you're actually going farther from the exam because the questions in your textbook is nowhere close to the questions in the exam. The questions in the textbook is actually haram because they will make maths more difficult. You won't get questions like they give you in the textbook. You must do past paper questions. And your Javed sir and Miss Fatima will show you how. So the first thing is you must have the PDF. If you don't have the PDF, please look in the maths group. If you haven't joined our maths group, please join our maths group. Drop me a message, right? It's 9639434. That's our number, 77-963-9434. Drop us a message, all right? Your Javed sir teaches O-level, A-level, Cambridge, Edexcel, does not AQA, does not matter. Maths, ask the grandmaster. I was born to teach this, okay? I was born to teach you maths. So we're going to start with the 2024 question, all right? We're going to start with the 2024 question here. And I promise, in the beginning, it might seem a bit difficult, but it becomes easier, okay? It becomes easier and easier. It becomes easier and easier. You have to do the questions with me, all right? So to do these questions, We need the trigonometric ratios. Where can you find the trigonometric ratios table? It is in the back of your textbook. It is in the back of the grade 11 textbook. So right now, in a competition, the competitors had to run up an inclined plane, right? A mountain kind of a thing, okay? Inclined plane, a slope, Kandavage, in a competition. So I'm reading the part on the left side, okay? Everybody here can see my screen, I hope. All right. Everybody here can see my screen, of course. In a competition. And don't worry, I'll make this available after the lesson also, okay? So if you don't have this, drop me a WhatsApp message. I'll add you to our groups. We'll have more free sessions. Every Wednesday, we have free sessions, okay? Every Wednesday, 10 o'clock to midnight, we have free sessions. So join our free sessions. Tell your friends. We're going to take over maths, okay? We're going to this is actual English medium maths. With your Javed sir, you learn original English medium maths. So here we have the first question. This is the 2024 question. In a competition, the competitors had run up an inclined plane, climbed up a vertical ladder, and then slid down another inclined plane. The side view of the two inclined planes and the vertical ladder used for this are denoted by AC, DE, and CD. So you see this AC, right? The competitor, now if you are the competitor, so Miss Fatima, what happened? Weather problems. A moment of silence for Miss Fatima. Maybe she has network problems, of course. Like Javed sir has life problems. You're here, Miss Fatima. My God. Okay, where were you? We were sad. We missed you.
I had a network issue.
Of course, you did. Miss Fatima, have you been in these competitions? So there is a competitor and he has to climb up. Can you see the screen, Miss Fatima?
Yes, sir.
He has to climb up this inclined plane and then climb up a ladder and then slide down. Whee! He has to slide down this inclined plane. There's a competitor, all right? Give this competitor a name, Miss Fatima. Give this competitor a name. Zaid. Is that your favorite name? If you have a kid, will you name him Zaid?
No.
What will you name a kid? If you had a kid in the future, what would you name him?
I have no idea.
Okay. So, Zaid, all right, who is not Miss Fatima's kid, all right, he climbs up this inclined plane, climbs up this ladder, and then slides down, okay? The problem is, Miss Fatima, can you see right angle triangles? Do you see right angle triangles here?
No.
If you look very carefully, there are two right angle triangles, right? There is one here. If you look very carefully, there are two right angle triangles. There is one right angle triangle here. Right? Can you name this right angle triangle, Miss Fatima?
ABC and DBE.
Absolutely, ABC. And then we have another right angle triangle that is DBE. Well done. DBE, right? So we have two right angle triangles. Brilliant. I love it. But now, all right, they have given you data and you have to add that data to this description. They've given you certain pieces of data. You have to add these data pieces into this description, into the diagram. AC equals BE. AC equals BE equals 50 meters. So this is 50 meters. Love it. Very, very neat, right? Javed says notes are. My students tell me that my notes are the best. They're not wrong. My students deserve the best, right, Miss Fatima? Don't you agree? So BE is 50 meters. Okay. So if you mark all of these on the diagram, you get marks, okay? Just by writing what is given, you get marks in the marking scheme. So don't miss these free marks. Do you love free marks, Miss Fatima?
Of course, why not?
Everybody does, exactly. Everybody loves free. Even this session is free, right? And we have more sessions, okay? We're doing more questions that will support you in the exam. All you have to remember is not to give up. That's it. All you have to remember is not to give up. So we've got AC equal to 50 meters and BE equal to 50 meters. You can try this question now, okay? That's the reason I am taking my sweet time to explain. You guys can try this question now. And now they say that CAB, which is this angle here, CAB, I will even name it using this highlighter, CAB. This angle right here, CAB, is equal to 26 degrees and 10 minutes. 26 degrees. I'll use a bigger footprint. 26 degrees and 10 minutes. So you can measure an angle using degrees and minutes. Remember, this is like using a decimal. It's like using a decimal. So a degree is made of 60 minutes. Like your clock, right? In your clock, the hour has 60 minutes. So in maths, a degree has 60 minutes. So the magnitude, the size of this angle is 26 degrees and 10 minutes. They also say BCD is perpendicular to ABE. BCD is perpendicular. So there are two right angle triangles. This means that there are two right angle triangles. All right. I'll even put a small highlight here. You guys can use highlighters in our class. Don't use them in the exam. Gahala elavai. But you can use highlighters in our class, okay? So coming back to the point, we see that they say that BCD is perpendicular to ABE and DC is equal to BC. So DC, all right? They haven't given us the length, so I'll call this X, right? In maths, Miss Fatima, when we don't know the value, we give it X. So DC is equal to BC. So this is made of 2x, right? One X, another X. 2 X's. So this whole length is equal to 2x. I hope you guys can understand. This whole length is equal to 2x. Why did I call it 2x? Can I call this 2h, Miss Fatima? Can I call this h and h without calling it x? Can I call it h and h? Is that correct? Absolutely. Absolutely, I can. I can call it h and h. So I'll call this h and h because these are heights, right? But you can call them x, you can call them y, you can call them f, you can call them n. It doesn't matter. Why is DC equal to BC, Miss Fatima? They have given that in the question. Why is DC equal to BC? They have given that as data. So I have given them the letter H. So copy the given figure in your answer script and include the given information in it. Done, done, done. Use trigonometric ratios and show that the difference between the incline of DE, that is DEB, all right, they want you to find this angle That is DEB. They want you to find this green color angle. I'll highlight it in green color. The DEB angle and the CAB angle, they have given you the CAB angle. What is the magnitude of the CAB angle, Miss Fatima? Can you kindly tell me?
26 degrees and 10 minutes.
Exactly, 26 degrees and 10 minutes. It's not rocket science. So they want you to find the difference of these two angles, and these two angles are equal to, the difference of these two angles must be equal to 15 degrees. The difference of these two angles must be equal to 15 degrees. Let's do it. Now, first of all, do I know the length of H, Miss Fatima? Do I know the length of H? Yes or no, Miss Fatima? Give me a guess.
No.
I don't. Well done. That's why I gave it H, right? If I knew the length, I'll put like 5, 6, 10, 20. I don't know the length. So I'll make it X, okay? Because I think X means we don't know, right? Miss Fatima, in maths, X. I'll give it X, okay? X. Step 1, find X. So how do we find X, Miss Fatima? Using what do we find X? Take your time. Using?
Using trigonometry.
Genius you are. In the kanne pattidum. Do you have Umama at home? Ask her to take, lime and do the two, do that. Right? In the kannure padum. Okay. So you're right. Using trigonometry, right, Miss Fatima? You have to find X. But now here's the catch. I have an angle, right? I have an angle. The angle is 26 degrees 10. All right. This angle I have to use with sine, cos, or tan. What am I going to use? Sine, cos, or tan? Think carefully and tell me, Miss Fatima.
Sine.
Absolutely. Miss Fatima is right. We have to use sine. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Miss Fatima, what is the length of the opposite side?
BC.
Exactly. BC. Well done. BC is X, right? Miss Fatima says BC. All right. So you must look at this left, the triangle on the left side, okay? You must use the triangle on the left side. X over what is, now again, remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. You don't have to write that in the exam, okay? Don't waste time writing sine is opposite over. Just remember, sine is opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite side is equal to x. What is the magnitude of the hypotenuse, Fatima? Miss Fatima.
50 meters.
Absolutely, 50 meters, but we'll write the unit in the end, okay? Write the unit at the end. If not, you must carry meters everywhere. If you can't understand what we did here, please raise your hands up. If you can't understand what we did here, please put your hands up. Drop us a private message. Everybody can. If you have Achi Umma, ask them to take a lime and recite Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and do that. Right? Do that. So now, how the hell do I find sine 26? 10 minutes. Use the trigonometric ratio table. By using the trigonometric ratio tables, we must find sine 26. Go to 26. Sine 26. Here is sine, natural sine, right? Sine 26. Do you have it with you, Miss Fatima? My God, Miss Fatima, you're doing an amazing job, okay? So coming back to the point, sine 26, 10 minutes. What is the value of sine 26, 10 minutes, Miss Fatima?
0.4410.
Exactly, 0.4410, right? 0.4410. Again, Sine, look at this. Look at the left side, Nangis. Sine, go to 26. 10 minutes. Go to the 10-minute column. 0.4410. How did I find this? It's in the table, man. It's like using, when you guys were grade 6, you use the multiplication tables. It's like using the multiplication tables. A lot of students have used logarithm tables. It's like using the logarithm tables. Can you find this using a scientific calculator, Miss Fatima?
Yes.
Yes, but sadly, if you take the calculator into the exam, gahala elavai, right? They'll chase you away, adai poda, and they'll chase you away. So you can do the same thing using a scientific calculator. But because the government is too stingy to give you calculators, they printed this for 50 cents behind your book. If they didn't print this, the government has to give you scientific calculators. Miss Fatima, in England, do all the students get free scientific calculators?
Yes, I guess.
Yes, they do. You're right. In England, if you are a student in a government school, they give you scientific calculators. Sri Lanka is not England. So that's why they printed these tables in the back of your textbook. So this is equal to x over 50. Now I want to make x the subject. I want to make x alone. I want to find x. I can't find x when there is 50 under x. 50 is dividing x. 50 is atavarasere to x. 50 is dividing x. I must rescue x. I must take 50 to the other side. What is the opposite of division 50, Miss Fatima?
Multiplication.
Absolutely. Multiplication 50. Multiplication 50. You must multiply this decimal by 50 because I am your teacher. I know that the answer is. Don't tell me, Miss Fatima, I'm going to do this using my head. Catch up to where we are. I'm your teacher. I know the answer is 22.05. Is that the answer, Miss Fatima?
Yes.
It is. Exactly. I did that using my head, okay? I'm actually a math psycho. I actually love maths, okay? I didn't start teaching maths to make money. Right, Miss Fatima? You know how I make money, right? I teach maths because I actually love maths. I have a huge passion for maths. If you hate maths, don't worry. I will still give you an A, right? Summa A on the tharen, which you can pong, right? I'll give you an A if you hate maths. But I actually love maths. So 22.05 is the answer. How did I do that in my head? I'm a genius. How must you do it? You can use your rough papers, right? And you can multiply. It's a multiplication, basically. If you don't know how to multiply, you can learn, okay? Just take some numbers and multiply them. Check whether the answers are correct using a calculator. The answer is 2205. There is a small unit missing, Miss Fatima. What is the unit?
Meters.
Meters. Well done. Meters. So if you don't write meters, they won't give you marks. So step 1 done. We found x. Now, what is, please catch up to where we are. Catch up to where we are. So x is equal to 2205 meters. Another x, right, equal to 2205 meters. X is equal to 22. How do we know whether we should use sine, cos, or tan? Good question, Zaima. I love that question. Now, look at this, Zaima. We have 3 laws, right? We have 3 laws. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So if I use, let's say, tan. If I use tan, Zaima, tan is opposite over close by, right? Tan is opposite over close by. If I try to use tan, Zaima, the problem is I don't want AB. If I use tan Zyma without using sine, if I take tan 26, 10 minutes, this is opposite, which is x, opposite over close by. There are three laws, Zyma. Sine is sex. Sex is opposite, right? Sex is gender. Gender is opposite. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is close by. Cos is close by over hypotenuse. Tan is sine over cos. Tan is opposite over close by. So look at this, Zyma. I am getting x over AB. It's very difficult for me to do the simplification because I don't know AB's value, Zyma. I can't use this 50 meters, right? Can you understand that? If I took tan, I can't use this 50 meters. So you can get the answer. You will get the answer. If you use tan, you will get the answer. But difficultly. If you use tan, you will get the answer. But difficultly. There is an easy way, by the way, Amra. The easiest way, I promise the easiest way. There is something called Sokotoa. But that is what UK students use. Sokotoa. But Sri Lankan students, that's allergic for Sri Lankan students. So how do I remember sine, cos, and tan? Sine is sex. Sex is opposite. Opposite over hypotenuse. Cos is close by over hypotenuse. Tan is sine over cos. That means opposite over close by. So remember, Zyma, in this situation, sine is the best. You can use cos and tan. But then you have to make it more difficult. You have to go through 5-6 steps. Find tan, find cos, and then find sine. It's easy if you use sine. Is it difficult to understand, Zyma? Do you want me to explain again why we should use sine? If you want, I can explain again, okay? Don't worry. I won't get angry, all right? Javed sir doesn't get angry. I'm here to help my students. So now we found x. Zyma, can you tell me how much is dB now? What is dB's length? This long dB, right? What is dB's length, Zyma? Looking at this, looking at the diagram, can you please tell me what is dB's length? Absolutely, double that. Double, right? 22.05. Double, right? dB equals 2x. dB equals 2x. 44.1, right? Meters. 44.1 meters. Simplification you have to learn by yourself. Take some numbers, multiply, divide. We'll even give you a PDF. If you find simplification difficult, we have a PDF with 1,000 questions. We'll share that PDF with you. You can divide, minus, multiply. You can use fractions. You can use decimals, mixed numbers. But it's a waste of time. If you know these operations already, doing those questions is a waste of time. If you don't know, please drop me a message. I'll share that 1,000 questions with you. So 44.1 meters. Zyma, can you... Now, Miss Fatima, I'll get back to you. Miss Fatima is going to get angry. But Zyma, can you please tell me, there is a second triangle. There is a second triangle, the triangle on the right side. To find this theta angle, Zyma, will you use sine or cos or tan? Can you give me a guess? It's okay if you make a mistake. This triangle, this right angle triangle on the right side, will you use sine, cos or tan? Give me a guess. It's okay. Kana shot, Zyma. Kana shot. Zyma, think very carefully, but it's okay. It's okay if you make a mistake. Now, look at this, Zyma. I have an angle. And this triangle, in this triangle, Zaima, I have the, judging by this angle, this DB long side, is it close by or is it opposite? Can you tell me, Zaima? Judging by this theta angle, it's opposite. Well done, opposite. This BE 50 meters, is this opposite hypotenuse or close by? Is it opposite hypotenuse or close by? It's close by. Well done. So I have opposite and close by. What should I use, Zaima? I'm not going to use the hypotenuse. You're going to use tan. Well done. Tan is what we're going to use. Do you see how simple is it? Well done, Ahmed. He says tan. You're right, you're right. Do you see how simple this is? The problem is, this is made to look difficult, but the maths paper is actually very simple. It is made to look difficult. It's actually very simple. So now I'm going to use tan theta. Tan theta equals, you know, sine over cos. Opposite over close by. Opposite over close by. That means dB over BE. That means 44.1 over 44.1 over 50. Catch up to where we are. Catch up to where we are. We'll do more questions, okay? We can do more questions, don't worry. But you don't have to do 10, 20 questions, okay? That's the biggest mistake students make. They think, I have to do 10, 20 questions. No, 1 or 2, but do it properly. You only have to do 1 or 2 questions, but you have to do it properly. Miss Fatima, what is 44.1 divided by 50? 2 point? 44.1 divided by 50, 2.2 0 5, right? 2.20. Is that correct? I did that in my head. Can you believe that? Javed sir, right? Actual master of maths, right? Actual master of maths. A lot of people don't know this, Fatima. I did maths for my A-levels also. I did maths, but in the art stream. So a long story, okay? I wanted to be a maths professor, blah, blah, blah. Long story, by the way. So, Hamana Kada, I'll talk about that later. I did maths for my A-levels in 2015. But then, unfortunately, my dada passed away. You know, right, Fatima? Unfortunately, dad passed away one day before the maths exam. I still passed maths, okay? I did combine maths, okay? Still passed maths. Failed the other 2 subjects, okay? Failed the other 2 subjects. But then I did my A-levels again in 2018. And there I chose mathematics for arts. So arts also has a mathematics stream. So that's how my passion for maths was kept alive. So actually I wanted to be a maths professor, but it's okay. That's life, right, Fatima? Miss Fatima? Right? So sometimes, you know, in life you face problems, but you should not give up on your dreams. So a lot of people who teach O-level maths, they did commerce or something, right? Commerce for their O-levels and they're teaching. So I actually did maths for my A-levels, okay? Actually did maths for it. So coming back to the point, maths is not difficult at all. It looks difficult, but it's actually very simple. So 22.205. Not meters, apologies. 22.205. Tan theta. Now I must find the angle. I know the tan theta ratio. This is called the ratio, by the way. Ratio. It's also called the fraction. I know the tan theta ratio. I don't know the tan theta angle. Miss Fatima, how do I find the tan theta angle?
Using the trigonometric table.
Exactly, using the trigonometric table. Genius you are, Miss Fatima, right? What will we do without you? What will we do without your genius? Using the trigonometric tables, let's go to cos. No, tan. Where's tan? Oh, there is tan. But now you must find tan, not the angle, the ratio. Where is the tan ratio? Where is the tan ratio? Let's look for it. Must begin with a 2, okay? Must begin with a 2. Have you found it, Miss Fatima?
No, isn't 44.1 divided by 0.882?
You're right. Apologies, Miss Fatima. You're right. Thank God. Yes, I made a mistake. Yes, I made a mistake. You're absolutely right, Miss Fatima. It's 0.88. It is actually. I'm gonna say, yeah, 0.88. You're right, 0.882. Apologies. I spoke too soon. Okay. Okay. But thanks so much for pointing that out. We can even divide it. We can even divide it actually. It is 0.882. Apologies. Okay. So once again, 0.882. This time I'll actually check, okay? This time I'll actually check writing this. Actually, I'll check. All right. 840. All right. 41. 8. Absolutely. 0.882. 0.882 is the answer. Miss Fatima is right. Okay. That's why we need you, Miss Fatima. What will we do without your genius? Let's go to 0.882. Let's go to 0.882. And let's find it in the tan table. So 0.8, we can come very close to 88. We can come very close to 88. We have it right here. 8796. We can't go to 8847. No. We can go to 8796. Okay. We can go to 8796 because we want 882. And 882 is not in this table. We want 882. And 882 is not in this table. Right? So we are going to go closer to 882. We're going to go closer to 882. Right? So we can go to 8796. Now, from 8796, Miss Fatima, to 882, how many decimals are missing? How many decimals are missing from 8796 to 882?
14.
I believe that you are. Double check this, okay? 9, 8. Not 14, Nangi. Can you please double check that? I'm going to say. Oh, 882. Yes, 882. You're right. 882. You're right. Yes. 882. You are right. Absolutely. Yes. 14 it is. Genius you are. 882. Yes. So now I know that I have to start from here, right? If I'm trying to find the tan angle, I have to start from here. So I know it's 41 degrees, right, Miss Fatima? I know it's 41 degrees, right? Using this table because 8796 is very close by to 882. I am going to use 41 degrees, but we are not done. Now we need the minutes. We now need the minutes. So 8796 is on the 20-minute mark. 8796 is on the 20-minute mark. So I will write 20, but wait, we have to add. We have to add to this 20 minutes. We have to add to this 20 minutes. Do you guys remember the missing 14? Now remember, because this is 8796, I need 14 more. Is it not 24 though? It is 14, right? It is 14. It is 14. Is it not 24, Miss Fatima? Can you please double check? Is it not 24? I can actually do it on the screen. All right. Now, for example, 0.8820 minus 0.8796. All right.
It's 24.
It is 24, right? Exactly. But it's okay. So aulak na. You know, that's how it is, okay? And don't worry about these tiny mistakes. Because when working with these numbers, it's very natural to make a small mistake. So, but remember, you have to fix your mistakes, okay? It is 24, neither. It is 24. Yep, exactly. 24, right? 24. But then don't try to do this in your head, okay? Like, yes, 90% of the time you won't make mistakes. 90% of the time you won't make mistakes. But sometimes, you know, under pressure, right, when you are not concentrating, you might make mistakes. So it is 24, right? It is 24, not 14. So here, we have to go to 23, right? 23. There we go. We have to go to 23. And under 23, this decimal 23 is 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So 24 minutes. 24 minutes. That's the answer. 41 degrees and 24 minutes. I will show you again. So we have tan theta equals 0.882. Find 0.882 from the table. 0.88 is not there, but 0.8796 is there. So to go to 0.882, we have to add 24. We have to add 24 to it, right? We have to add 24 to it. So therefore, the angle is 41 degrees. 20 plus, how many minutes, Miss Fatima? 20 plus?
4.
Exactly, yeah. 20 plus, roughly, yes. 4 minutes. 24 minutes. Love it. So now that's not the entire question. Don't worry, we'll do another question as well. That's not the whole question. If you read the question carefully, more than 15, the difference between the two angles, the difference between the what angles? The difference between the two angles. Now the difference is, look at the difference, okay? Difference is 44 degrees, 24 minutes. 41 degrees, 24 minutes. Minus how many degrees and minutes, Miss Fatima? The difference between the two angles? 20. 26 degrees and 10 minutes. Absolutely. The answer is 15 degrees and how many minutes, Miss Fatima?
14.
You're absolutely right, 14. Well done. It is slightly above 15 degrees. This is more than 15 degrees. That is what they have asked you in the question, right? 15 degrees and 14 minutes is more than 15 degrees. We did it. Why don't teachers do these in live classes? They are not difficult, but it's kachal, right, Miss Fatima? You have to open the table, you have to minus the decimals, right? But it's not difficult, okay? It is a little kachal, but it's not difficult. If you practice, this is going to be easy. You can catch up. Let's go to the next question. Any doubts about this? Any doubts? If you have doubts, please use the chat, okay? We can do one more question. Let's do it. And as I always say, you don't have to do 100 questions. Do 3-4 questions, but learn the theory properly. Do just 3-4 questions, but learn the theory properly. So this is the next question that we are going to attempt. Question number, the 2023 past paper question. Can give you guys like a minute to get ready. A minute, okay? We work very fast in this class, right, Miss Fatima? I'm exactly going to give you a minute, 60 seconds. I'm going to give you guys. Exactly a minute, okay? Okay, let's do it. This question won't take a lot of time because we have the practice of the first question. This is the 2023 past paper question. All right. This is the 2023 past paper question. And Amal is at point A of a field, to the north of Bimal, who is at point B. A statue S is located in this field. The bearing of S, don't worry about the word bearing, might sound like a scary word. It's not. I'll explain what it is. The bearing of S from A is 144 degrees. Moreover, ABS is equal to 54 degrees in the figure. The distance between Amal and the statue is 80.9 meters. We don't have to read the question again, because can you see a diagram? Can you guys see this diagram? This diagram is what they have explained right now. So while reading the question for the second time, let's fill in the diagram. You don't have to read the question many times. Read it once, and the second time you read it, fill in the diagram. Amal is at point A. To the north of Bimal, so this is Amal, right? And this is Bimal. All right. Who is at point B? A statue S. This is the statue, right? Statue S is located in this field. The bearing of S from A. So if you are at A and you want to look at S, okay, one more time. If you are at A and you want to look at S. There is an angle that you have to turn from the vertical axis. There is an angle that you have to turn. Now let's say that you start your hand at A like this, and you want to go to S. You have to turn a certain amount of A degrees, right? You have to turn, and that is what the bearing is. It is the angle from the vertical axis. Not angle of depression. There is a small difference, Halima. Here it's the bearing. The bearing is always the angle from the vertical axis. So this is the bearing, okay? From A to S, from A to S. You can even draw like an arrow from A to S. The bearing is 144 degrees. It's very obvious. 144 cannot be inside a triangle, right, Miss Fatima? It is the exterior angle here. So now can you tell me, Miss Fatima, what is the interior angle here? What is the interior angle? Yes, tell me, Nangi. Miss Fatima. 180 minus. Exactly, well done. The interior angle is 180 minus 144. Which is 56, right? Is it? Which is 36, right? 36. Can you please double check, Miss Fatima? Is it?
Yep.
Absolutely. There we go, right? I'm kind of skeptical after the first slip. 36, okay. So how did we find this interior angle? 180 minus 144. You can write that in the diagram itself, okay? You don't have to write an essay in the maths paper. You can write 180 minus 144. It's very natural. This is a triangle. You don't have to explain the sum of the interior and exterior angle, blah, blah, blah. No. Just write 180 minus 144 outside, draw an arrow and say 36. Interior angle is 36. ABS. This angle is 54. Therefore, Miss Fatima, what is this third angle? They have said that this ABS angle is 54 degrees. Therefore, what is the magnitude of this third angle, Miss Fatima?
54 plus 36 minus 90.
180, you're right. Minus
180.
180. So what is the angle? Can you do the calculation? Tell me what's the angle. What do you guys think? Drop it in the chat. Obviously, it is. Remember, what kind of a triangle is this, Miss Fatima? You don't even have to do the calculation. It's 90. Well done. It's a right angle triangle. This is the right angle, okay? So can you name the hypotenuse, Miss Fatima? What is the hypotenuse?
AB.
AB is the hypotenuse. Well done, and well done, Amra. Genius you are. And you're right, Hannah. It is a right angle triangle. Therefore, we can apply the rules of trigonometry in this triangle. Therefore, we can apply the rules of trigonometry into this triangle. I love it. It is such a simple sum. They also talk about a length, right? They also talk about a length. The distance between Amal and the statue is 80.9 meters. So this length is 80.9 meters. This length is 80.9 meters. Thanks a lot, by the way, Umar, right? You know, I work very hard for my students. And if you guys can drop your reviews in the Infinity group, right? This session, I'm actually proud of you because you guys joined despite the weather, right? Number one, Miss Fatima, the weather is trying to kill us. Flood, right? Raining, wind, a tornado, right? Hurricane Fatima. Second thing is it's very cold, right? It's a sleepy, cold, lazy climate. Everybody is asleep, I think. So despite that, you guys are here. So in Sinhalese, it's called Kapavima, right? Kapavima. You have that dedication. And that makes me very proud. And right, Miss Vadima, that is where Javed sir gets his energy from the positivity of my students. So if you guys can drop your reviews in the Infinity Maths group, that will be really great. If you are not a part of the Infinity Maths group, Miss Fatima, Infinity begins from?
Here.
Exactly. Infinity begins from here. Drop your reviews in the Infinity Maths group. If you are not a part of the group, please drop me a WhatsApp message. I will make you a part of the group. All right, Amra, I'll add you to the group, okay, after the session. So now we have a right angle triangle. Give reasons. It's very simple, right, Amra? My God, this is easier than the previous question. Give reasons why the triangle ABS can be used to find the distance. There we go. The reason is ABS is a right angle triangle, right? ABS is a right angle triangle. If you are too lazy to write right angle triangle, draw this right angle triangle like this. ABS is a right angle triangle. Obviously, right? Right angle triangle. Right angle triangle. That's the answer. How can you use we talked about this in the beginning of our session. How can we use the trigonometric functions only on right angle triangles? If this were not a right angle triangle, we cannot use the trigonometric functions. So now, question number 3, okay? Question number 2 done. Using the trigonometric ratios show that the distance between Amal and Bimal is 100 meters. They want us to find this, right, Miss Fatima? This. I'll call this X, okay? X, AB. If I want to find AB, all right? Now, we have many angles. But we only know the length of one side. We have many angles, but we only know the length of one side. Therefore, Miss Fatima, I am going to use sine. Okay? I am electively going to use sine. But can you please tell me which sine are we going to use, Miss Fatima? Sine 54 or sine 36? Think carefully and tell me, Miss. You're right, sine 54. The reason why Miss Fatima chose sine 54, and well done, Adil. The reason why Miss Fatima chose sine 54, right, this sign here, is because it is opposite to this data given here. The reason why Miss Fatima chose sine 54 is because it is the opposite to the data given here. Opposite over hypotenuse. Miss Fatima, do we know the value of the hypotenuse?
No.
We do not. I will write it as x. We do not know the value of the hypotenuse. Therefore, I will write it as x. Brilliant, brilliant. So let's continue. The diagram is on the left side. If you're like, where did the diagram go? Diagram is on the left side. So now, we have, as I was saying, we have sine 54, right? So what is sine 54? We have to go to the what table, Miss Fatima?
The sine table?
Exactly, the trigonometric tables, absolutely. Sine, so where is sine 54? Sine 54, 0. Sine 54, 0, where is it? Here we go. If you, it's in page number 152, okay? In the grade 11 book, in page number 152, we have sine 54. Sine 54 is 0.0 8, 80, 90. I love that number. 0.8090 equals 80. There we go. It is a perfect division. But now, all right, now I can divide both sides. Okay, I can divide both sides. I'm gonna get 100. But I will show you a small trick to use when dividing decimals. You can write 8090, 0.8090 as 8090 over 10,000. You can write 8090 as, you can write 8090. Let's remove this 0, by the way. We don't need this 0. But you can write this as 8090 over 10,000. You can do that, okay? If you put this in a calculator also, you get the same value. If you punch this on a calculator, for example, if you take 8090 divided by 10,000, you get 0.8090, but the 0 is negligible. You can neglect the last 0. After a decimal, if there is a 0 in the ending, we neglect that 0. You can write this as 809 over how many x's, Miss Fatima?
1.
Actually, no. Do you remember I took this decimal? There's one decimal place. So I can write this as 10x. I hope you can understand that.
Got it.
I took this decimal, right? I took this decimal and I wrote it as divided by 10. Here there were 4 places. So I wrote it as 10000. Here there is 1 decimal place. So I wrote it as 10. So 10x, okay? You can use whatever method you like to divide. This is the method I like to use. You can cut this 0. Cut the zeros. All right? And now, what you can do is, you can cross multiply. But again, you don't have to do this, okay? If you can't understand what's going on, you can write. I'll show you again, by the way. I'll show you again. So again, Miss Fatima, we have 0.8090. So I can write this as 8090 over what? 1,000 or 10,000?
10,000.
1 with 4 zeros. Well done. I can write this 809 as 80.9 as 809 over 10 or 100.
10.
10. Well done. Don't forget the x, okay? Keep x where he is. Now I can cross multiply. Now, before cross multiplying, please remove these last zeros. Remove these last zeros. You can do that, okay? And now you can write it as 809, cross multiply, and you can write 809 multiplied by 10x equals 809 multiplied by 1,000. All right? So you see that 809 will cancel off, right? 809 will cancel itself off. You can divide both sides by 809. You can do that in algebra. Whatever you do to the left side, you can do to the right side. So you can cancel off 809. You don't have to do all of this. If you can't understand what's going on, this is what we do. You can cancel off 809. To make x the subject on the left side, Miss Fatima, what should I divide it by?
1,000.
Look again. To make x alone on the left side, What must I divide it by? 10, well done, 10, you got it, 10. Divide 1000 by 10 as well. So you're going to get x equals 100. There are many shortcuts, okay? There are many shortcuts that you can use. But because there are non-compatible decimals, these are non-compatible. There is 0.8090. There is 80.9. Because these are non-compatible decimals, I removed the decimals. How did I remove the decimals? By converting them into fractions. These are non-compatible decimals. How am I going to convert these decimals? I am going to convert them into fractions. So in the end, I get x equals 100 meters. In the end, I got x equals 100 meters. Don't forget the unit. I got x equals 100 meters. How did I get this value? By using the trigonometric tables. Now, there's another part. There's one more part, okay? There's one more part. But please catch up to where we are. And if you can't understand how to divide decimals, how to multiply or add decimals, that is done a lot, right, Miss Fatima, in trigonometry. We added, even I got confused. We add decimals, we divide decimals, we minus decimals, right? We multiply decimals. So that is, you have to practice, okay? That part takes a little bit of practice. But once you get used to it, it becomes very easy. We'll talk more about this. We're going to have another free session next week, okay? Next week, we're going to be doing, next week, Wednesday, by the way, Wednesday, 10 p.m. to midnight, okay? Next week, the class will be Wednesday, 10 p.m. to midnight. But let's continue the question. A flagpole is located at point F, 30 meters west of Bimal. So tell me, Miss Fatima, west, is it the left side or the right side?
The left.
The left side, absolutely. To the left, exactly. It is to the left, absolutely. 30 meters. That's a flagpole. The flagpole is 30 meters to the left from Bimal, okay? There is a flagpole. The flagpole is 30 meters to the left. Include this information in your figure and find the magnitude of AFB. AFB they want you to find. Why not? So let's construct this. In the diagram, let's construct this. They want us to find AFB. I know x is equal to 100 meters, right? I know x is equal to 100 meters. I know x is equal to 100 meters. The west is the left, okay? Then what is the right side, Miss Fatima? Can you kindly tell me what the right side is? If west is the left side, the right side is east, right? East. Absolutely, east. So in Colombo, we live in the western province or the eastern province?
Western province.
We live in the western province. We live in the left side of the country, right? The people on the right side sometimes, right, they don't like us, I think, maybe. Right, Miss Fatima? People on the right side of the country, right? What was the place again? I forgot the place.
Kalmune.
Kalmune, my God, yes, exactly. Kalmune, I'm kidding. I love everybody, right? I love all of my students. Let's complete this. Let's give these students a break. Let's complete this. All right. So you have properly learned how to use the table, properly learned how to answer these questions. We did not rush. We did not rush. We took our good time and we did it. A flagpole. They want you to find AFB. They want you to find this angle, right? They want you to find this angle here. We'll call this theta angle. Why the hell not? Why can't we use this angle? Game Akmanatua, let's do it. So tell me this, Miss Fatima, to find this theta angle. This is question number 4, is it, Miss Fatima?
Yeah.
Okay, did you print out the tute?
No, I wrote them down.
You what? Why no? Why didn't you print it out? Oh my God! You show me you wrote it down though. Did you?
I wrote it down with the answers. I tried them.
Oh my God! Real look how hard Miss Fatima is working for you guys, right? So she didn't print it out. She wrote it down. Oh my God! So question number 4. Okay, she's making me cry, man. I've got tears in my eyes. Okay. So question number 4. What are we going to use, Miss Fatima, to find theta? Are we going to use sine, cos, or tan?
Tan.
Absolutely. The reason why Miss Fatima chose tan is because we don't know the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse in this right angle triangle, in this second right angle triangle, we don't know the hypotenuse. Therefore, I must use tan theta. Tan is sine over cos. Opposite over close. That means the opposite is how many meters, Miss Fatima?
100.
Absolutely 100. You're right. The close is how many meters, Miss Fatima?
30.
Therefore, tan theta is equal to 0.3333, is it? That's weird.
Isn't it 3.3?
It's 3 points. Apologies. 3.33. You're right. What the hell is up right today? 3.3. I'm actually testing you, Miss Fatima. Well done. You passed my test. 3.3333, right? You can even punch this in a calculator, okay? But if you divide it, if you take 100 and divide it by 30, all right, 100, divide this by 30, you're going to get 0.333333333333, right? But we only need 4 decimal places. We only need 4 decimal places. Now, how do we find this angle? I know the ratio, Miss Fatima. I know the ratio. I don't know the angle. I know the ratio. I don't know the angle. How do we find the angle? We go to the trigonometric ratios, right? We go to the trigonometric tables. Let's go to tan. What's the page number, Miss Fatima? Tell me. We're almost done. We're almost done. We have 2 more minutes. We have 2 more minutes. What page number is tan in? I think this is page number. Oh God, page number 154. Page number 154. Let's do it. 3.3333. I see 3.30. We can go until 3.305. That's the closest, right, Miss Fatima? Can you guys see? 3.305. I'm going to unlock the chat, okay? I'm going to unlock the chat. Tell me, what is the degree? What degree is 3.3333? It is. Look at the trigonometric tables. Look at the tan table and tell me, make your Javed sir proud. What is the angle of 3.3333? It is 70. It is 73, right? Absolutely, Adil. Genius, you are, man. Absolutely, Hana. 73 it is. But we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. We need the minutes. We need the small, right, Miss Fatima? In life, it's the small things that matter. We can't forget the small things, right? You can't forget the podiminiha also. You can't forget the sin. That's a different story. Small things is what matters. I was going to say you can't forget the sinner, but then I remember the meaning of it. So, I was going to say sinna vishayam. Accidentally, I was going to say sinna ud. Sinna vishayam girl. You can't forget the small things. 73. How many? 10 minutes plus. Wait, 10 minutes plus, okay? How many points are we missing, Miss Fatima? We're missing 20. I think we're missing 28 points.
Yes.
Are we? Absolutely, Hannah. Well done. We're missing 28 points. 28 points are under, I'm going to say 7 degrees. 7 degrees, okay? 7 minutes. So we're going to get, let me double check this, okay? 73, 10, 8. 73, 10, 8, okay? 18. 73 degrees, 18 minutes. If you wrote 17 minutes also, you are correct. You can make a small error, okay? If you wrote 17 also, you are correct. 73.18 minutes is the answer. We did 2 past paper questions, but remember, you actually get these questions in the exam, okay? We didn't do triangle, find the angle of this, find the x angle. We didn't do those chuti baba questions because you won't get those chuti baba questions in the exam. You have to do past papers. We only had the time to do 2 past papers. But don't worry, this is only the first free session. We're having another free session next Wednesday, 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. I'm proud because my students stayed until the end. I'm proud of you, Miss Fatima, for making this session an interactive session and for being the voice of the students. And how can you help your Javed, sir? How can you repay your Javed, sir? You can drop us your review in the group, and the PDF that we wrote the answers on, I will make this PDF available in our Infinity Maths group. I will also make the recording of today's session available in that maths group. We're done, Miss Fatima. What are you going to do after this?
Just go sleep.
You're sleeping this early? You're going to wake up for Dahajjat or something tomorrow?
I wake up at 4 a.m. to study, sir.
Oh my God, okay. That's crazy. All right, then good night, Miss Fatima. You guys also. I'm going to sleep at 4 a.m. actually. I'm going to sleep at 4 a.m. So we will see you guys in our next session. And until then, take care and all the best.